Hey, y'all, got two stories for you. One's on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast. But you see the title of the video of look, it's been crazy, but it's getting crazier. And we know who's the big root we know who's pouring gas on a fire that was already lit. This economy right now, food shortage, but you increase in food prices and shortage of certain things. But like some people said, look, the luxury crap like the Cheetos and High C and that stuff is the stuff people crying about that's, they can't get. But that you have the right to eat junk, but it's junk. But the regular food staples, the stuff where you actually have to get off your ass and go in the kitchen and cook, that stuff is still out here and it's plentiful. And I've never been on social assistance, welfare, or food stamps, but I think that's the stuff that the program is supposed to buy anyway, not soda pop and fire hot Cheetos or whatever the hell. But anyway, I don't want to turn this into that kind of deal. Let me go ahead and shrink myself down, and we'll get started first. We'll start on the East Coast, and then we'll end up on the West Coast. So let me shrink my big old head down. So I ain't gonna do my Atlas joke again. How's it holding up, Atlas? I done it before. I don't even feel like keying up the sound effect for it. That was so corny, but it's, to me, little stuff like that is funny to me. Okay, y'all, let's get the show on the road.
To a Target 12 Investigators exclusive, more than 25,000 Rhode Islanders are on a wait list for Section 8 housing, highlighting the need for financial.
This is June 30th, 5 days old. 5 days? Yeah.
Help amid a housing crisis. But even for people with the vouchers, many still can't find a place to live.
Target 12 consumer investigator Sarah Granelli has more on how people are struggling.
The maximum amount of Section 8 vouchers the state can give out each year is nearly 11,000. But because of soaring rents, we found it's often not enough. The housing crisis in Rhode Island is being felt by thousands of low-income families looking for a home.
I've been looking for a new place for almost a year and a half now.
Mercedes Patience receives financial support through the federal housing program called Section 8. Her landlord is selling the home she and her 6 children live in, which means she will likely have to move. But because of the lack of open apartments...
6 children? Please tell me you were married. If not, you're gonna get that work too. Well, no, we'll wait till the story is over. I don't want to foobar it.
Apartments coupled with the soaring cost of rent, Mercedes says she's had no luck finding a new place to live.
For a 4-bedroom, a good $2,000 and up, and my voucher is, every time I find something, it's not enough.
Her friend Latoya Walmsley says she was on Section 8 for years and knows the struggles all too well.
The program is made to help low-income people, and right now it's hurting them.
For someone who qualifies for a Section 8 voucher, they must pay about 30% of their income towards rent. The remaining 70% is covered by the federal government through local public housing authorities. But Latoya argues it's now not enough.
The voucher amounts are not enough to meet up with the current rent rates.
Here's a real-life example. For a 7-person family living in a 4-bedroom apartment like Mercedes, you would pay $725 a month for rent on a $2,000 apartment in Providence. A voucher would cover the rest. But like Mercedes, having a voucher doesn't guarantee you can find a place to live.
They're having difficulty finding available units anywhere, regardless of price. There are just not a lot of vacant units in the community.
Michael DeCaro of Rhode Island Housing says he understands the difficulty of finding an apartment. Rhode Island Housing is one of several housing authorities in the state. DeCaro says they have...
Y'all better start finding a way where you can coexist and cohabitate with the people that you laying down with, pumping out these damn kids.
Increased voucher payments to 120% of fair market rent, the highest allowable amount. But still, demand is too high in many cases, and housing supply is low.
We also issue vouchers to folks that have to turn them in because they can't find a unit.
While some are giving them back, more than 25,000 people are on the waiting list for vouchers.
But right now, the average wait is
25,000 people on a waiting list? What the hell going on in Rhode Island? What are y'all doing? 25,000 people on a waiting list for Section 8 housing. Y'all are screwed. You're screwed.
About 2.5 years on the wait list. A year ago, it was a little over 3 years. So there have been folks moving through the system.
For some people, that's time that they don't have to be on a wait list or find a new place to live.
Like her. In 90 days, if she doesn't find anything, where's she going to go with her kids? You know, it's sad to think that she may not have nowhere to go.
Coming up at 6, a look at what initiatives the state is taking to help those who are struggling to find housing. With the Target 12 investigators, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
Oops. Sarah Bonelli, my bad. Hey, Sarah. No, Sarah, she's a little old something. Let's go.
Now, a Target 12 investigators exclusive.
We first told you at 5 how more than 25,000 Rhode Islanders are on the waiting list to get Section 8 housing.
New at 6, we check in with state leaders to see how they're addressing the housing crisis.
Target 12 consumer investigator Sarah Granelli has more.
Housing officials say the ongoing housing crisis in Rhode Island is even harder for people relying on Section 8 vouchers. The new state budget just approved by lawmakers includes hundreds of millions of dollars to address the issue, but some say these homes can't come soon enough. Latoya Walmsley was on Section 8 for 8 years until she was able to land herself a job with the state. Now she's standing up for those who are struggling to find housing in Rhode Island.
I would like to see more housing be created for more low-income people. Section 8 to revise their program and up the voucher amounts, you know, for people so that it could be affordable.
More than 8,000 people are currently using the federal voucher program, but because the state only has a limited amount of federal dollars each year, more than 25,000 Rhode Islanders are currently on the wait list.
That was back in 2004, I think I applied for. I waited 11 years to get Section 8.
Wait times vary, and on average it takes about 2.5 years to get one, which puts Rhode Island 30th in the nation for wait times according to federal data. Slightly better than Massachusetts, which ranks second to last. But even when families finally get a voucher like Mercedes Patience and her 6 children, they still can't find a new home.
I've been looking for over a year and a half, and I haven't found nothing.
Walmsley says the ongoing housing crisis and soaring rent makes it hard for lower income people to compete for the limited number of available apartments right now.
I've known people that have been looking for apartments for the past 2 years and can't find anything.
Channel 12 sat down with Josh Sal, the Deputy Secretary of Commerce for Housing, to learn more about what the state is doing to help combat the housing crisis. What do you think the state needs to do to help these people?
So this is directly tied to how little Rhode Island has historically invested in housing.
Vacancy rates fell below 3% right now, which is having an effect on everyone, especially those with Section 8 vouchers, according to Sal.
We can talk about housing all we want and things like source of income discrimination or vouchers we have, but if we don't have physical units, no matter if you're low income or medium income, or you're a school teacher or a senior on a fixed income, you're going to have trouble finding housing.
To try and address the issue, Sal says his department is spearheading a statewide housing plan. The money is coming from the new budget Governor Dan McKee signed this week.
Wait a minute. I thought we had a shrinking population problem. You hear that all the time. You know, this right to life is to keep the white race alive, keep this one alive, and keep this bloodline going. What is this shrinking population that people are talking about? Because they didn't, the United States haven't stopped, well, for certain places, ain't stopped making houses, or houses didn't just disappear. Well, they do in Detroit, but they don't disappear. They just burn to the freaking ground. But that's a Detroit thing. So the math ain't math in here. You say shrinking population, even though each year you look at the overall census, the population is growing, and we have a housing issue. That don't sound like a shrinking population to me. I'm missing something because this math ain't mathing.
In it includes $100 million for the development of affordable housing, $20 million for those who are experiencing homelessness or housing instability, and $25 million for the acquisition of properties to be redeveloped into affordable and supportive housing. The entire initiative is $250 million. Any idea how long this might take, considering the housing crisis is here now?
It's a big challenge, and we have a long ways to go in terms of catching up.
Sal says building new housing could take years. For LaToya, she says her friends and family need the help now.
There's going to be a lot of people homeless. There's a lot of people that have Section 8, and the landlords want them out because they want more rent.
Because of the high cost of living, the Housing Authority says they're paying 120% of fair market rent, which is the highest payable amount the federal government will allow. With the Target 12 investigators, Sarah Granelli, 12 News.
At what point are we, and I say we, because I think I take care of myself. I'm housing myself, but I work. I got to go to work, because if I don't work, I don't eat. There's no golden parachute for owner operators and business owners. You are your own parachute, and businesses fail. But when businesses fail, that means you fail, and now you got to start over or get a job. But at what point do we as people, we as human beings, we as Americans pop that government, even try to pop the government teat out of your mouth and be responsible for yourself and your own actions? 6 kids. I don't know if she was married and she had 6 kids. I don't know if, and got a divorce and she got the kids in custody. I doubt it. But it could be. It happens. It happens. I've seen it. I had a family member with 5 kids and they got divorced in the court. But man, he was getting built for child support. But that's a different. And see, here, there's something else too. Child support. Section 8, WIC. I don't know what they got in Rhode Island, like Texas's version of the Texas Lone Star card. I'm quite sure they have some kind of something for food stamps and whatnot. So that frees up your money. That frees up your money to do other things with it. Or like Carrie said, budgeting. I don't get it. Anyway, let's go to now we on the east. I'm full of O'Shea. We're going to go all the way. I need to have somebody make me a cartoon airplane with my big old head in it with a headset and a microphone like I'm flying the freaking plane. I don't want to fly no plane. I couldn't see me being no pilot. I'm too chicken. Let's go ahead and go to LA, y'all. Let's get it.
Police, however, had to remove protesters who tried to shut the council members down. KICO 9 political reporter Tom Waite has more tonight.
I warned you before. Please ask her to leave. Thank you.
Friday's LA City Council meeting was tense and full of disruptions. The anger was over the city council's vote of 10-1 to approve a ban on homeless encampments within 500 feet of schools and daycare centers. The policy is part of the city's new law regulating homeless encampments.
And everyone.
This is 2 days ago, July the 2nd in LA. Man, look how, man, it don't get hot there at all. 79, 77. Damn, I wish I had some of that here. We're at, what are we at? We're at 99 now, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Everyone knows that this isn't about fixing homelessness, right? It's about aesthetics. And it's at the expense of real people, human beings.
Others disagreed, including a father whose first grade daughter goes here to Dr. Sammy Lee Medical and Health Science Magnet School. He works at the junior high next door.
The encampments are using our walls at Virgil Middle School as their supports.
Jeffrey Stemnock describes his daily routine.
Every day I have the incredible joy of walking my child to school because she goes to the school next door to me. And then after I drop her off, I do what I call my heartbreak patrol. And what I do is I patrol the perimeter of the campus with my plant manager. And we look for things like drug paraphernalia, live exposed electrical wires, extension cords going into our school campus plugged into our lights. We also see things like human feces, drug paraphernalia, and unfortunately, sometimes we do have to call for medical assistance for those people that need it.
But some neighbors who live near the encampment fear the policy is not the right solution.
People are basically being forced from location to location. I get it. You know, we have a few kids still in the neighborhood, and they've told me horror stories of things that are happening on their school playgrounds in relation to the homeless population. But I think until we can solve the problem holistically, I don't think it's fair to just keep pushing them from place to place and criminalizing it.
For now, though,
Okay, so I guess so basically, okay, she says she get it, but basically you saying you're okay with the homeless people being on these school kids' playgrounds and doing the stuff they're doing and the kids seeing the stuff that they seeing. You're okay with that. See, these tards, they're a big part of the problem. And here's another thing too. The majority of the people that's out there in these places, they chose their lot in life. Whether they know the choice they was making or not at that time, if you decided to get on this, or you decided to go this route, or you decide that I'm tired of school, the school teacher's a fool, and this is whack, or whatever the hell, or glug, 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 whatever. You chose your lot in life. Now you're spreading your misery to people that didn't choose your lot in life. And the ones that chose better and put in the work are supposed to, I don't know, carry the load for those that were irresponsible. Now, well, Nick, there was probably some that was out. Yeah, I know there was some that was left behind a dumpster as a baby and they grew up and was raised by wolves. I get it. Well, I don't think they got wolves in. I don't think they have wolves in California. Do they have wolves in California? I know California has mountain lions, and I think they got lynx too, but lynx is a small cat. Look, I'm willing to bet you the lion's share of the people out here, they took brand X. They was using brand X, and that's why they're where they're at. It's sad, but it's true.
It does appear the majority of the council agrees the encampments near schools must be moved.
You know, as shelter is being made available to people, as housing is being made available to people, we have to, at least as a society, be able to say there are some places and some types of encampment that we just cannot accept.
Because the vote was not unanimous, the council will come back on July 27th to vote once more on this new policy. Reporting from downtown LA, I'm Tom Waite, KCAL 9 News.
Rate, comment, share, subscribe, folks. I don't Uh-oh. Sha'Carri Richardson fails to qualify. Who cares? I don't care. 200 kicked out. Whole apartment complex. Oh, that's Patti LaBelle. That's Erica. Police lied under oath. Boston begins crackdown on homeless encampments. Hey, it's only 4 minutes. Let's see.
It is utterly cold.
Tonight, in the dead of winter, the city of Boston sweeping up hundreds.
This was January 13th of this year.
Of makeshift tents and living quarters in the heart of the city.
If the city offered you a place to stay, would you go?
Absolutely. If it was a stable place, why would you?
In just the last days, the city of Boston cleared out this whole sidewalk of tents. This street is supposed to be next, but it's -9 wind chill today, which only speaks to the complications of those living here.
I've been in that type of cold. Well, y'all know I'm from Michigan and lived in Germany and Belgium and South Korea. And the people, it get cold in Korea. You got them right, it get cold in Korea. But my story stands. It bleeds over from the West Coast back to the East Coast. Damn, I done went east, west. Now we back to the East. I didn't plan this for real. I just saw it and decided to click it.
Mark St. John used to live on the streets himself. Once a drug addict, an alcoholic, and convicted bank robber, he turned his life around and now working extensively with those here.
What is different about this effort than efforts you've seen over the last decades?
I haven't seen any efforts over the last decades. No one's done anything.
They've just allowed the population to exist?
Yes. Yep.
The city and its new mayor, Michelle Wu, contending this time is different, offering alternative housing options, outreach workers going one by one, a nearby hotel, new openings at a pop-up cottage community nearby, space at the city's shelters.
We have led a housing surge. We've created enough housing that is low threshold, medically staffed and supported for each one of the residents of the encampments.
Sworn in just under 2 months ago, the mayor moving quickly. Just 2 blocks away, we ran into city workers dismantling encampments. As one woman who did not want to show her face appeared from her tent to look for help.
They told us that they're going to get us housing and stuff, but I haven't gotten anything yet. I haven't gotten anything. I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to go down there right now and check out because everybody has to be out of here really soon.
And because they're clearing it out right now?
Yeah.
Did they tell you how many hours you have?
Till tomorrow.
These encampments not unique to Boston, but burgeoning in American cities. Phoenix to Los Angeles to Seattle and San Francisco and more. Homelessness has increased in America each of the last 4 years. The number of unsheltered individuals climbing by 7% just in 2020. The federal government tracking that on a given night, more than 220,000 people are unsheltered. Concerns the situation will continue to get worse as home and rental prices soar and the pandemic lingers.
Nobody in America really wants to be living in an encampment. It's not a choice that they're actively making. It's a choice made out of lack of better options.
Since October, multiple deaths at these encampments. The Boston Police Department reporting 34 aggravated assaults and 12 robberies in that time, too.
It's not the place to be. You see people die every day. I'm getting tired of walking over needles, human waste, blood all over the bathrooms.
The mayor says the city intends to end these encampments for good, but just how far the city will go to enforce this, unclear.
Our concern now is that the mayor has given an imposed deadline of January.
They tape the notice on your tent. You come out of your tent. What the hell? Look at all the needles. Look, man, I understand the world has a drug problem. I get it. But you forcing your drug problem on the rest of the world, if that makes sense. You know, at least on the area that you're in, you're dumping your drug problem. Well, I picked it up from, I'm quite, look, for somebody to get to the point that they done stuck something in their arm or taking something, come on, man. Come on, man. That's you. That's you. That's you, boo. Black dude, white dude, Mexican dude, Asian dude. I don't care. Wherever you from. Do females too. Young, I don't care. That's you. That's you. You need to take that hit. Well, bad choice of words, but you know what I mean.
January 12th, where it's an or else, we're going to come in and take away and sweep away all the tents.
Is there potential these individuals would be arrested?
The goal is that that will not be necessary because we have actually supported everyone exactly how they needed.
There are going to be a number of individuals who reject the alternative options that you have provided them. And in this dead of winter here, their perceived last layer of defense, a tent, a tarp, are being thrown away. How did you grapple with the decision knowing that consequence?
Every single day that goes by, as the temperatures plummet, it becomes even more of a life or death situation, living unhoused without heat or hot water. Working with people, meeting people where they are, leads to a very different set of conversations about providing housing and having that trusting relationship to be able to connect people to services.
Mayor Wu said essentially she hopes to prove to people that for individuals who are homeless, that this is just one step on their journey, that if the city is able to provide the social services, the transportation, and the job training to these individuals, that there is a long-term way out. They're even looking at some potential older buildings on the island nearby as detox units and as other housing facilities for these individuals. She hopes to make Boston a place that proves that the proactive approach to individuals with homelessness is the best approach to help these people long-term.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow.
Well, folks, I'm gonna tell y'all, like my partner in crime, Truth Teller, said, one thing about a junkie, you can't unjunk a junkie. A junkie gotta wanna unjunk himself. Like the dude that's helping with the program. What did he say? He was a drug addict, an alcoholic, and a bank robber. So he'd been to the pen. So he had to go all the way down and hit a rock bottom and get locked up in the pen to wake up and realize, man, this ain't it. But I get kudos to him because a lot of people can't shake that disease. But like True said, you can't unjunk a junkie. Nick, you can't unjunk a junkie. It's a junkie's job to unjunk a junkie. No matter what you do, it ain't going to work if he won't take it. Now, I know that's a horrible truth teller, but I don't have the pipes that he got. Y'all be good, be safe. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Bye.